Southern Vangard Radio. This is DJ John Doe, and to the left of me is my man.
GA, the ski mask way. Eddie Meeks, South Memphis Meeks, Tulane Chino.
Cappuccino me.
Gia. What's good, homie?
Happy New Year to you, my man.
Well, these mics live as a motherfucker.
They are, aren't they? Maybe
like
the headphones are just live.
I don't know.
I think that's what it is. I mean, we're not peaking over here, so I think
ain't
we're good.
mad about it either. I
All
like
right.
this shit.
Sounds
Happy New Year, Playboy.
Happy New Year, man. Shit popping over there.
Literally.
Meeks has got a what kind of gun is that you got right now, Meeks?
This is a 1832 Pirates of the Caribbean special right here, man. The Jack Sparrow special, goddamn. I've never seen no shit like this in my life, boy.
So fresh out the factory, the handle isn't even painted, man. That's just that raw wood look.
Man, I'm talking about, I feel like a Christmas story happened over here, man. This some shit young Ralphie had waiting on him under the tree.
Oh, man, good stuff.
What's up, homie?
How was your holiday?
Man, that shit is over.
Excuse me. It is.
That shit's over. I'm
pretty quickly
back to being 2 jobs shorty. First thing in the morning, man. But I had some great time off, man.
Oh, good.
With the family.
That's good to hear.
Road trip, just laying low, getting that all that rest I missed out on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
over the
right.
years. So
Beautiful.
It's been good, man. I feel alive. I feel rejuvenated. I'm putting faces with names tonight. I'm drinking out of one of the greatest glasses I've ever seen in my life. And
big shout out to my mom.
Shout out to Mama Foster.
Yeah, man.
That's my mama too. I love her.
Yeah, man.
I'm biracial. I got a white mama in rural Kentucky. Y'all didn't even know that. See how we drop bombs on this show, man. You learn so much from this podcast.
You
man,
really
I'm
do.
telling
You really do.
Me and John came from the same lineage.
You didn't even know.
It's my brother.
Yes, sir.
And this Henry McKenna ain't nothing to fuck with.
Oh
either.
yeah. Speaking of parents and in-laws, my in-law.
Shouts out to Rocky.
Man, Rocky Roads brought through that gas, my man. Woo!
This shit right here.
This Henry McKenna. Is it McKenna?
McKenna. I think it's
McKenna.
Henry McKenna. Yeah.
Henry McKenna, 10-year bourbon.
Aged 10 years, bottled in bond. Bardstown, Kentucky.
100
Stand
proof.
up.
100
proof.
Whew.
Man,
good shit.
So good.
All right.
Good.
Well, good, man. Good.
How about you, man?
Christmas was good.
Yeah.
The holidays, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
No real complaints. Just busy as hell. Like I told you when you got here, I just feel like I hit my groove like yesterday, and it's a wrap pretty much.
Yep.
So, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Somehow the Bulldogs didn't choke out here. And
Unbelievable.
Playing Oklahoma. So
Unbelievable.
I mean, don't worry, they're going to choke. In the big game in a few weeks in next week anyway. But,
because it's who is it tonight? Clemson
Alabama and Clemson. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
Neither
what
one of them no hoe. So
we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
so,
for real.
But man, it was good. I'm just excited, man. 2018's here.
It's here, man.
We took a week off last week, so we're back at it.
Yeah.
And shit, I'm just glad to be here, man.
Yeah, me too, man. Good times.
All right. So before we get down to business, if this is the first time you're tuning in to Southern Vangard Radio, we drop twice a week. There's a mix show on Tuesdays. All the latest and greatest hip-hop joints cut up by myself, co-hosted by, of course, myself and my friend here, Mr. Eduardo Miques.
Yes.
And
si, senor.
And then on Thursdays, we have an interview session with an MC, DJ, behind the scenes person, A&R folk, producer, whatever it may be, usually within the hip-hop realm, if you will. And, that's kind of what we do. So make sure you go follow, share, like, subscribe on whatever platform it is you dig. That's SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, Mixcloud, Apple Podcasts, and we have a couple of affiliates as well, right, Meeks?
Yep. WRBB returned to Boom Bap Radio here in Atlanta, atlhiphop.com. I am ClassicRawRadio.net, also in Atlanta, and Soul Public Radio out on the West Coast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. So our first interview session of 2018.
First one.
Now, our faithful fans and listeners, you don't know how hard we work at this thing. I mean, we there's a lot of things that we go through to make this shit happen. And this interview right here, we have been working on for almost 2 months. Now, it was supposed to go down a number of weeks ago, but Meeks, you had an issue, and we had to bail. Yeah. And then, we just been trying to work it out with this gentleman ever since. Yeah. And tonight is the night.
Tonight is the night, man.
With that being said,
one of
our favorite guys on the mic right now,
man,
the one and only Crimeapple.
Crimeapple.
Woo, woo, woo. What's up, my friend?
Fellas.
Salute to you, homie.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year, man. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Already,
yeah.
You already know.
Yeah. What was New Year's and the holiday season like for you, man? You full of that coquito over there? What's happening?
You know what? I think it might be the first year in like 2 or 3 that I didn't touch it.
We was just talking about that. I went super light last night, man.
I had a sip. I took a sip. That was it. I took a sip just to taste it.
Yeah.
But I was going a little harder than the coquito.
Okay. That's what's up, man.
Right.
That's what's up. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So listen. Well, actually, shit. I was gonna say 2017 was quite a year for you, but you're already kicking off 2018 with a joint with Daniel Son and Gallo Point today, right?
Oh man,
Apple.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I'm like, if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do the right way, I got to be in 2019 already. You know what I'm saying? So it's like 2018. I already know it's, I don't know everything that's coming, but I know most of what's coming. I laid the groundwork, as the year ended. So I'm
that's
like thinking 2019 right now.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I ain't mad at you for that.
So tell us about this cut, Apple. Like, what's the deal with it?
What, the Daily Soup?
Yeah,
joint?
The Daily Soup, yeah.
Oh, that's the homie, Daniel Son. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's off this is a project we got coming out with Diallo, producing the whole thing.
Okay.
That's the homie. He just sent me the joint. When me and Daniel Son do records, it's kind of like, it's like an instant reflex. So I already know what to do, and vice versa.
So this is a project.
Crazy.
So this is a project. So you guys have a full project coming out with you and Daniel Son and Giallo?
No. I'm talking about his project. Yeah, no, I have no full project coming out with him as of right now. But no, that's off his album, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Yeah. So we talked with Daniel 3 or 4 weeks ago, Meeks.
Yeah, I think
something like that. And we were talking a little bit about how you and him kind of connected. Like, I mean, what is it about, the way you guys approach music that just seems to work out so well every time?
I couldn't say. I think that's for the listeners to say. It was just kind of organic, just a mutual respect. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really out here trying to do, records with every rapper. And there's a lot of rappers that I know are nice and I think are nice that a record just might not make sense to me, or, however many me and Daniel got now, like 4 or 5, that might not make sense to me to do that. So it's definitely something. It's like a kinship. He's got the panache, you know what I'm saying, that I think I relate to, even our dialogue when we're talking about, oh yeah, what's up? It's not like no corny shit where a lot of cats just like, yo, Crime, I need 16 on this. And there's no like personality behind the inquiry. Because when people hit me like that, and it happens every other day, I'm more inclined to just, even if the record's all right, like, whatever.
Yeah.
I like personality. And your son's got personality.
Okay. We completely agree with you on that.
Yeah, man.
That was one of the I don't know, more entertaining interviews we did last year. With Daniel Son.
Yeah, Daniel was on it, man.
He was on it 100, man.
He got into his sports shit and everything.
Everything.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Yeah, definitely high in personality over there, man. Yo, you speaking of 2019, man, and you already done went through this year already, even though it's brand new. What's up with these picks with Premiere, man? We can look for some of that in 2019.
Man, Lord willing. I mean, I don't know if that's up to God. That's not something that is set in stone. To tell you the truth, I met Premiere. We got to chop it up with him.
Okay.
But I promise you, I don't even know if Premiere ever heard me rap before. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I was introduced to him as Crimeapple and, whatever. But
yeah,
I don't know if he's ever heard my music, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I just had one night where I could kind of kick it with him. Terminology was fucking with him on a video. And I just got to soak up some game, man, more than anything. You know, that's like a crazy experience. Just, you know, you're chilling there. We get there and I'm chilling.
Yeah.
And he's not there. He's like out to dinner or something. So his manager or assistant, whoever it is like, yeah, he'll be here in a few minutes. And like you're sitting at Premier's boards. It's like you're hanging out in God's room while he's out.
Oh man, better not touch nothing either.
Nah, you know, to me that's crazy. You know, I stepped out. I stepped out to have a smoke and make a call, and I come back, and then you hear his voice right away.
Yeah.
You know, and he's a super cool guy. You know what I'm saying? Super cool guy, and you know, hopefully the future holds that. I know. I think we can all agree it would sound great.
Oh man, no question. I mean, and the only other thing I would say about this is don't be surprised that he doesn't know about you. You know what I'm saying? He keeps his ear to the street pretty well. So yeah, I don't think you have to worry about that.
People too, you know, you think you know what's coming. Like I'm telling you, you know, I think I know what I'm doing in 2018. But you know, you make plans and God laughs at you. So I don't, you know, it could be. He could be right.
No doubt.
Could be listening to this right now. Who knows?
That's a great point. For real.
Yeah. So yeah, you I guess this time last year kind of kicked off 2017. Like it seemed like this time last year really kind of put you on, you know, I don't know, this trajectory that just didn't seem to stop. Like weren't you on Statik show about this time last year? Or it seems like
Truth.
Okay.
Truth. We just you know, we just culminated the inaugural year, if you will.
Okay.
That is true.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how did that, like, what, had you known Statik previously? Like, what got you, you know, what got you on the show, and like, what kind of happened after that? Because it seemed like there was a lot more awareness, I think, about you and what you were doing after that appearance.
Where I've been nice for a minute, you know, I've been doing my thing in kind of my own little pocket up here, and not really like, you know, intentionally or, you know, with a lot of energy behind it. I would say for a number of years, it was more just like something I did on the side. But, you know, I would pop out, do a show here and there, put out a mixtape. But I was nice. You know, I was nice back then, you know, circa 2010, 2011. And I remember around that time, a friend of mine had reached out to me and told me that someone that he knew might be giving me a call in regards to, like, trying to introduce me to some people. But he had also told me to be wary because he was a known shit talker, you know what I'm saying? Bullshitter. Doesn't always follow through. So I was like, okay, whatever. Thanks for the heads up. And then the kid hit me up one night real late. And he's like, yo, come with me. I want to, you know, I fuck with your music. Come with me. We're going to go to Statik Selektah's album release party. You know, so whatever. I'd never met this guy in my life. But we met up with him. And sure enough, you know, he shows up at the fucking, he's on the list and gets me into a party with Statik. And Statik's sitting there. My man starts chopping it up with him. My man plays like, I think it was like a video off his iPhone. And, you know, I thought that was ill because in that moment I looked to the left and I see Statik Selektah like watching my video with headphones on in the middle of his like album release party, you know, like on the couch in like a club. And I was like, oh, that's ill, whatever. And I don't know what happened after that. You know what I'm saying? I know like information was exchanged, but like, I don't know how, like, either we sent something, and I really don't remember that part. Either we sent something and didn't hear back, or maybe we dropped the ball and never hit him up. Because, like, as I said, at that time, you know, rapping was definitely not you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't even looking at it the same way I look at it now.
Right.
But fast forward to, like, around, you know, this time last year, you know, I was just, you know, really starting to be like, yo, I'm going to take it serious. I'm going to try to really, you know, do things the right way. And I hit him up. And I thought that it was, you know, a good preface because, you know, cats get DMs every day, every second when you're Statik Selektah.
Right.
So I was like, damn, he's probably not going to see this message, but at least let me preface it with the fact that, you know, he met me like 6-7 years ago and told me my shit was dope. And that was really it. I sent him like footage of like a performance that I had just done, you know what I'm saying? Like my first little like co-headline and shit. And she's seen the footage of the show. He was like, yo, you got some music? I sent her some music. And that's it. The next day I was at the radio. A few days after that, you know, I was doing a couple records with him in the studio.
Yeah, going in too.
Dope.
God damn, man. Wow.
Dope.
So what was it that made you, I guess, approach this a little bit differently or more seriously? Like, did something happen or like what? Why kind of a renewed focus and energy?
That's a good question. I don't know. I couldn't really put a finger on one thing, man. It's kind of just like a confluence of, you know, of life just kind of just being like, yo, this time, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't really couldn't really put my finger on one thing. You know what I mean? Just like a lot of things. It was just like, yo, this may be the time to take a crack at this in life. You know? Right. I mean, I think if I had to put my finger on one thing, honestly, it's really the idea of not having to, you know, worry about shit or like work for someone else or, you know what I'm saying? Like not having to, being able to like live my life on my own terms. You know what I'm saying? That was the thing, I think, too. You know what I'm saying? Because I have my hands in a couple things, and you know, I've always been a pretty responsible adult. You know what I'm saying? With a little fettuccine in his pocket, sometimes more, sometimes less. But
right.
I think it was like, yo, man, like I don't think I'm supposed to be living like this regular. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Does feel right?
Does that fettuccine have the sauce on it already, or is the sauce in the other pocket?
I blended the sauce. I think I cooked the sauce in 2017.
That's what's up.
You know?
All right. Sauced up.
I was John Doe. I was like John Doe before that. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
A couple cats knew what time it was, but you know, I was like, you know what? The sauce is important. Sauce is
absolutely.
important. I think that's good. I spilled a little sauce last year.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so what was the? I guess so. You've been you know doing your thing for a couple of years. Then I mean, like you know, we know music probably from the past couple of years. I guess like, well, what was your first official you know kind of release? Like, is there you know music from 2010, 2011 floating out there that you know no one knows where it's at or
potentially in super small traces, but
okay.
At that point, there's no Crimeapple back then either.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So that's like, yeah, that's super rare. I have a lot of that, and a lot of it I don't even have. But and I think the first official release, trying to think, I don't know, it was like one or two. You know, it was like I think I put out like a handful of joints, like 2 or 3 joints before I put out a record with Statik. I just don't remember the succession, you know, in which they came out. I kind of almost, honestly, you know, just because of the stature of his name and, you know, whatever the attention that might have come with, you know, doing that freestyle on his radio show in terms of like releases and stuff, like I kind of only like can clearly see what happened from that point forward,
right.
You know? So in a way, you know, to his credit, like I was definitely doing my thing and I did a really good show. You know, maybe like a month or 2 prior to, you know, to linking with him. But I would say maybe like, you know, in a lot of people's eyes, Damage Control, that song he produced is probably like my first release to a lot of people.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Cool.
Which was what, early last year, right? Like, what was that, February, March, something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Right. Not like February.
Okay. Yeah.
Something like that.
Gotcha.
Apple, we got a little bit of your background here. So you are of Colombian descent. Shouts out to Colombia. And originally from Bergen County, New Jersey. Are you currently in Jersey now, or you in New York? Where are you?
Nah, yeah, I'm in Jersey right now.
Jersey,
Absolutely.
okay. What's the climate? You know, the climate. Excuse me. What's the climate like for somebody of your caliber right now? Up top on the East Coast, Jersey, New York, you know, tri-state area, what have you. What's the climate like right now for a cat like you?
Man, I would say right now it's pretty peculiar. It's pretty peculiar because you know I understand who I work for. You know what I'm saying? Like I work for the people who you know allow this to be possible, i.e., you two gentlemen and everyone else who's checking for it. So I think I understand my demographic very well, and there's definitely a huge portion of that demographic that is untapped, not only here in the tri-state area, but in a lot of other places out in and outside of the U.S. So I feel like when I pay very close attention to my following and people who make comments and people who are consistently checking for stuff, and I kind of have an idea that it's like there's like really like small pockets everywhere. You know what I'm saying? On the East Coast, on the West Coast, Boston, Philly, other countries in Europe and South America, New Zealand. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I have a nice handful of fans almost everywhere, right?
Okay.
But, you know, I could move around New York City and New Jersey, and for the most part, you know, maybe go unknown and unrecognized. But But then at the same time, you know, when I least expect it, someone could pop out and be like, "Oh, what's up, Crimeapple?"
Okay.
So I say that, yeah, I say that's why it's a little peculiar to me right now. You know what I'm saying? Because, and at the same time, you have, I mean, look, at the end of the day, everyone, you know what I'm saying, raps.
Yeah.
Everybody raps. So it's like, obviously, I'm in my part of New Jersey, because New Jersey, you go to different parts of it, it's like a different world entirely. But in North Jersey, and my 10-block radius alone where I'm at, you know, there's probably 25, 30, 40 rappers who I maybe never heard of. You know what I'm saying? But
dang.
So there's a lot of cats bubbling in Jersey and New York or whatever that, like, you know, people who are checking for the same shit that me and you were checking for never heard of, right? But they can attain a certain level of success, you know, by still being unseen by eyes like ours and ears like ours, because they do something different. And that's like the divergence, I guess, between the new sound and the old sound. You know, when I say there's 35 rappers, you know, right here around the block, just because they all make trap music. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I say it's peculiar, because, you know what I'm saying, I'll come across people's shit or people out in places or whatever, someone's doing a show, and I'll look and I'll be like, who the fuck is this? I never heard of him. You know what I mean? He's from like 5 blocks away. But he's kind of moving in his own regard. You know what I'm saying? Where he has a different kind of fan base. Maybe his fan base is very, like, literally, like, right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my area, my county, and I just didn't know about it. Whereas nobody who's checking for me from France or Spain or Cali or whatever would ever know about this person. You know what I'm saying? So it's strange. You know what I'm saying? I guess there's like a lot of different ways to skin a cat. You know what I mean?
Is there a lot of activity in your area right now, as far as like you doing shows, you traveling? What's your activity level like?
It's light. I mean, I'm not pressed. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I could do way more shows. You know, I could have done way more shows last year than I did. You know, I know the importance of it, and I also just feel like, you know, I do things at the right time. When it feels right, I do it. I'll say this now, because by the time you guys put this up, I'll have already announced it officially. But I know I'm doing my first headlining joint out in Brooklyn on January 31st.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I popped up, did a couple of joints with, you know, a Statik Selektah in 2017. I did my own little co-headline and shit in Philly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I move around. I pop up once in a blue.
You wanna put some more details out about that show? Can you talk about it?
Yeah, it's gonna be at the spot, the paper box out in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And you know, I'm probably gonna do a lot of my first project there, you know, for the first time. And who knows, you know, when that'll happen again. So, you know, it's kind of coinciding with the release of the vinyl for the album, you know, because we already put out the tape and the CD. So we're doing the vinyl in January. So I'm going to probably take that opportunity to do that album in almost its entirety for the people who supported it around
beautiful.
Here. So
damn,
that'll be fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. That's ill. Yeah, you know what? It's kind of ill. We I have a different perspective on this now. I think when we interviewed Fahim, the guy Fahim, back in the summer, and we were asking him about shows, and he was like, "Man, why in the fuck am I going to do a show, you know, when there's no bread and I can sit at the crib and make an album?" And you know what I mean? So it's so interesting to, like, you know, and just, you know, to hear Apple talk about that. Like, I never really thought about like that, like in a 10-block radius, like there really literally could be 25 or 30.
I'm sure they is.
And
everyone now can, it's so splintered now. Like it is like micro niche. It's like micro, like everyone can literally have like these little, like random kind of like bizarre lanes that they're in. And no one ever really, it's just so weird to think like that. But that's totally how it is now, man.
Yeah,
it's
that's the peculiar shit you talking about, man.
Yeah, it is ill.
Crime,
man.
what's the most peculiar shit you've run into recently?
Damn, I don't know. I mean, I think someone hit me the other day trying to cop a verse for $40. I thought that was strange.
Hold on, say that again. Wait a minute, I think I missed that. Say it again.
Nah, someone literally hit me up trying to cop a verse for $40. And the crazy thing was that it was after they had already disclosed to me that, like, yeah, this is for my shit, I'm a producer, it's my project, and I just copped a verse from X rapper and Z rapper, and I just gave them like, $400 a pop, whatever. And all I got left is 40. Can I get a verse? And I just thought that was super crazy.
Yeah, that's when a motherfucker gets blocked.
Yo, that's beyond peculiar.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a nice guy.
Shit,
I'm a nice
right?
guy. You know what I'm saying? Because he could have been bullshitting and he could have had it, or he could have been telling the truth and he could have not had it. I mean, my personal way of handling that probably would have never been to come on my face talking about $40. But, who am I to judge? I really didn't block him. I was just like, yo, you know what I'm saying? This is kind of what it is right now.
Yeah.
You can always hit me in the future. I'm sure it's going to be a little different then. But, you know what I'm saying? Whenever you got it, just hit me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? If someone is genuinely, not capable of doing business with me, like, I'm not going to judge you. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I made a mixtape. I made two mixtapes that was $25. You know what I'm saying? I didn't expect everyone who just bought my $7.70 album, a week prior to buy that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that, everyone's not going to see a number that's, different than what they might be used to and be like, oh, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I make music for the refined palate. And you might not want to pay the price that I'm charging for everything.
Right.
But, in this day and age, I feel like it's definitely, my, not only my right, but my responsibility to kind of take hold of my art and my destiny and do as I see fit. And I think, in the year that I actually started selling music and kind of living off of that, I think I've been more than fair. You know what I'm saying? I don't, to not to judge and dictate what fair is or should be to anyone, but I definitely do things that allow me to sleep well at night. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like I'm not trying to like hit no one over the head. Like, oh, you got to pay me $30 to DM me, or you got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need, $5,000 to perform. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting paid when I headline in New York, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and like jerk the promoter around. Like, well, I need, like, I don't got a fucking writer. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, no.
I think I sleep well at night. I sleep well at night knowing how I do things. I do things the way I see fit, and I think they're the right way to do things for me. You know what I mean?
That's real. I can appreciate that. I had a situation like that today with some HVAC shit, man, but that's a whole nother story. Yo, Cass is paying for DMs now? I'm missing out on some bread. Is 30 the going rate for a DM request?
I don't know.
Nah, I mean, that's some shit I heard, and you know what I'm saying? That's, and to each his own, though. I can't knock that. That's just not how I do things. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was moving like that, I probably wouldn't be able to, me personally, I wouldn't be able to, sleep that well at night.
Man, I wish a motherfucker
I'm very conscious
would
of the
ask
fact
me
that
for
all of
some
this
money.
is possible because I'm very conscious of the fact that everything that I do is possible because people genuinely are spending not only their hard-earned money from work, but the most important currency, which is time. You know what I'm saying? So the people are giving me their time. They're giving me something that's invaluable. It's intangible. So I owe it to those people to, operate with the most integrity that I possibly know how to use. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to do right by me and by them.
Oh, you are a nice guy.
You are a rare breed, my friend.
Yes, sir.
I can't believe who am I talking to right now? This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy.
Nah, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I mean,
I
don't nobody
on the records and shit, and it's still that. But at the end of the day, too, it's like outside of that, you got to acknowledge what this is. This is entertainment. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Music is like the most powerful thing in the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, considering that, you know what I'm saying, I'm putting my everything into it, and people are, who are going to reciprocate and give it their time, which is basically everything, because what else is more important than time? Then, you know what I'm saying, you got to, you can't, I don't believe in doing things that's, advantageous, you know what I'm saying, like when at someone else's expense.
Right.
I'm not here to grab a quick
dude.
bag and run off and quit rap or something. You know what I'm saying? I want to be here for a long time.
Y'all, how old are you?
Man, I have no birth certificate, to be honest with you, man. So I couldn't really put a finger on it, man. That ass. You get and that's a documented answer to that question.
Give me a guesstimate. Like how old do you feel?
How old do you feel?
I mean, how old do I feel? That's a whole nother thing. I feel like I'm like 19, 18 years old.
I just wanted to
I feel like I'm
just wanted to officially
induct.
I just wanted to officially induct you into the young boy gang, man. The thing that we've come to realize right now for us and from our perspective, just doing this show for 3 years now.
Yeah, and being 40 plus,
right
too, right, brother? So
is that now when people, when I hear conversations or people speaking directly to me about the state of hip hop right now, and that it's dying and the shit is not, and the youth are doing that, I can safely and respectfully tell them that no, there is a faction of young gentlemen out here that's doing this shit the right way, and we have affectionately named them the Young Boy Gang.
Right.
So I want to add you to that, but then again, you don't know how old you are, so I don't know. Shit, you could be my age. I don't know. Shit.
I'm not. But at the end of the day, look,
you ain't gonna claim to be my motherfucker.
I won't do that. No. But this is what I will say is that honestly, the older I do get, I think, obviously with age comes some wisdom. And what I think is
no doubt.
in order to live like a happy life and an equally righteous life, you kind of got to understand that age is really just like, that's like your mindset. You know what I'm saying? There's
no
moments
doubt.
in my life where I got to act like I'm 92 years old. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever that even means. And there's other moments in my life where it's like I got to be a child again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, what I did in 2017 and what I continue to do is just create a life for myself where I have the freedom to live like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be rigid and, you know what I'm saying, like be what a 25 to 30 to 35 year old, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit's a label and a mindset.
That's what's
I
up.
really don't think that way. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I look good still. If I shave my beard off, I definitely look like I'm 15, 16 again.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a baby face. My skin's still good. You know what I'm saying? I got hair. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a young man.
I'm young. I'm pretty. I hit hard. I'm in the best shape of my life.
Right, yeah. No, facts. I mean, I got a good decade and a half worth of ammunition in me. You know what I'm saying? Before I felt like I might be over the hill.
Woo! Oh man, I love it.
That's what's up.
I love it. Hey, Apple, I got a question for you. I saw an interview with you with a kind of, I guess, homie of ours via the internet. I've never met this gentleman in person, but we've talked a lot. Tyron, I think you had like a video interview with him a while back, and I wanted to ask you about something you said in that interview, because this is personally one of my, I guess, favorite LPs that I feel is like heavily slept on. But you talked about the influence of the Gravediggers on you, and I was wondering if you could expand on that a little bit.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if I said it when I spoke to Tyron about it, but I didn't know about the Gravediggers before I got that CD or that tape. I think it was a tape. I didn't know about it going in. I knew about Wu-Tang. I knew about a handful of things.
Okay.
But I didn't know. I kind of just got that tape by mistake because I recognized the RZA's face, and that was my shit. That was like my favorite shit. I think you hear it kind of like I think you hear its roots in my music. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like I was, I don't know. It was just that album. You know what I'm saying? I had the second Gravediggers album. But, it's not like I was, like, super, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was, like, that was a horrorcore album. And it's not like I was a fan of horrorcore.
Right.
And I think that's why the Gravediggers are legendary, because I think a large portion of their fan base, if not most of it, also wasn't really there for horrorcore. You know what I'm saying?
Was that a horrorcore album?
A certain way where you can't deny it.
Right. No, well, they tried to package it like that, but I mean,
with the necro and all that shit.
Yeah,
I never looked at that like that.
That's right. None of us having this conversation ever looked at it like that, because it wasn't that.
But that's what it was, though.
Right.
That's what it was, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at least like you said it. At least that's how they packaged it. Because you look at the actual lyrics, the name of the group, the name of the songs. Like that was horrorcore. But as a result, that's the fucking best horrorcore fucking group or whatever rap act.
Well, I mean, Prince Paul is in the motherfucking
really the only
group,
one that
so
matters. Like that's like the only,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's it. That's like that's the level if you're gonna do horrorcore. Like if your shit's not fucking with Gravediggers, then you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
That's that shit. And I was by mistake. I went looking for something else. I remember I swear I think I won a spelling bee. And my parents took me to the mall to just get me something real quick, keep it under $15. And I wanted to go to Sam Goody. And I was looking for the Chronic album because my older brothers had it, but I would always get in trouble when I was touching shit because they was older than me. So I wanted my own Chronic tape. And then he came back with, the guy who worked there came back with Dr. Dre and Ed Lover, Who's the Man soundtrack or something like that. Right?
Yeah,
and I didn't want that. So I just started looking around and I found the Gravediggers tape, man. And I rocked that tape until it popped. I mean, I took that tape with me to Colombia.
Wow.
I was out in Colombia, out there for months listening to Gravediggers. Like, that was like one of 3 tapes I might have had. I think I had that, the first Fat Joe album, the Flo Joe shit, and like one other thing, something else. You know what I'm saying?
That's ill. That's a great record, man.
That's shit.
Great
Yo,
record.
when you go to Colombia, what part you go to, and when's the last time you've been out there?
I haven't been out there for a couple of years. My family is predominantly from Medellin.
Oh, okay.
So that's, that's where I've spent most of my time there. I've touched a couple other parts, but that's where most of my family resides.
Okay. Oh.
How big of an influence did your family have on you being in this music shit, Apple? Like, you mentioned, I guess you mentioned a brother. Like, did you have other family members that have been into music, or are you kind of like the oddball that, that's kind of doing music?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely the oddball. I think there's just a lot of, a lot of fans of music, obviously, like any family, you know what I'm saying? And there's not too, yeah, definitely the oddball in that regard. I got the weirdest job right now.
What's your family think of it?
Honestly, I don't know, man. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I have a huge family, you know what I'm saying? And as you get older, it's not the same as it was when you might have been little, where you see your family like every weekend. At least that's how it was for me. And it's not like that anymore as I'm older. So it's like, I know the ones that do know, you know what I'm saying? Either like intrigued by it or like, excited about it. Not everyone in my family is a fan of hip hop just because they love music either. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm sure there's people I'll probably see in the next couple of years who I haven't heard from in a while, though.
Was there something that what made you decide to what gave you the confidence to think that you could pull this off, man?
Oh man, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think there's like ever a moment. Like I said, when I was operating early on, I think I knew it then. I don't think I would have ever stepped foot into a recording studio. You know what I'm saying? Because that actually takes effort. You know what I'm saying? Freestyling in the corner or battling so-and-so from around the block, you could do that in your spare time where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? But actually taking the time and, scheduling a studio session and paying for it and, just starting to do, I think I knew from the moment I started operating on that level that it was something that I could definitely do. It was just whether or not I was going to follow through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So was it always rhyming, or like, did you ever try to get like the DJing, or like, or did you fail at something else miserably, or it's always been the pen?
Yeah, it's always been a pen. You know what I'm saying? I've definitely I probably made like a handful of garbage beats in my life, but that's not something I've ever really pursued. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really move me. I kind of just I like to play a part, you know what I'm saying, and make suggestions if a producer's willing to take them, because I also respect a producer who's like, I got this, and if they do, they do. But, outside of that, you know what I'm saying, right now, when it comes to anything else besides the pen, I do like to maybe make suggestions about, an idea or a sound, and kind of just let someone else be my hands and make it happen.
Gotcha. So on that front, you certainly don't have a slouch of a producer friend in Buck Dudley, that's for sure.
Buck Dudley.
Yeah, Buck
Dudley,
Dudley, man. He's a special guy, man. He's a special guy. I hope that, 2018 brings him, some more acclaim and some more opportunities. I know it will. He's a very, very talented individual.
We're gonna see him producing for some other folks, since he had a pretty good 2017 with alongside you. At least I think he did.
Nah, I mean he killed it. He killed it. I mean, the thing with Buck is that me and Buck go back to that time that we're talking about.
Okay.
I know Buck personally. You know what I'm saying? Like that's if we wasn't doing music, we would still be great friends. So he was around for a minute, and when things kind of started moving a little bit for me, he wasn't really active to be honest. You know, it was kind of like I had to call him and be like, yo, what's up? Like, let's get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? I got it jumping. Are you coming or not? You know what I'm saying? And to his credit, you know, he delivered, I think, a lot of good music in a short period of time, considering the fact that we put out our first EP together in like the end of September, then another or something like that. I think, and we put out like 4 EPs in the span of like 2 months.
Yeah, man. Burners too. You know what I love about Buck, man? Here's what I love about Buck, because Meeks and I are always, it's all in good fun, of course, but I always, we always joke about, you know, the lack of drums in hip hop nowadays, specifically the hip hop that we like. Mm-hmm. And, you know, what I like about Buck, what I like about Buck is his versatility, right? So, like, you know, he can do like I feel like he can do like the really simple, straight ahead kind of like, you know, just the sample joints, but then he can come with the joints with the drums and the full production and like the whole shit. And that's why, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons we probably gravitated to your music, you know, is not just you, but like that partnership right there, man. Like, you guys have something special. Like, it makes sense that you guys are good friends, because, you know, when you have that connection, you know, the music is just that much better. So I love where, you know, I love the versatility that I see in Buck and the different types of shit that y'all are doing, man. I fuck with it.
Nah, it's dope. And, you know, the thing is, too, is that, you know, Buck has a lot of beats. You know, like, I think people have only gotten a very small glimpse of what he's capable of, because he has a million beats that I think are great, that I just personally don't think are great for me.
Right.
And I think that when the time comes, you know, you're going to hear some shit and be like, oh, shit, Buck Dudley did this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
Because he's got a lot of range. You know, he knows how to, and that's why I give him the credit. You know, I've seen Big Ghost, like, talking about this, you know, in recent days, where, you know, the difference between a producer and a beat maker. You know, someone who's not just going to, you know, throw some shit at the wall and see what sticks. Yeah. But rather try to, you know, and I guess Buck has the advantage when doing that, because, you know, we have access to each other's lives, you know what I'm saying? So he can call me on the phone and we can hang out, and he could just know where I'm at and know what I want, you know what I'm saying? And know what I need. So,
yeah, you can tell, man. You can tell.
Happy New Year. He's dope. He's dope. And that's the ill shit too, because I'm gonna do some pretty wild things, you know what I'm saying? With some cats, you know, right off the rip. You know, I'm doing this album with Big Ghost. I already did it. You know, it's in the final process, and that's coming first quarter. And then I got this joint with Houseshoes that we're working on. That's actually co-produced by Buck Dudley. You know, Houseshoes is going to get involved. It's actually an older, I think it's our last EP. It's the Sweet Dreams EP that me and Buck put out on Halloween. And, you know, we're going to kind of just tinker with that a little bit, because, you know, Houseshoes was such a fan of it, and he liked it so much that it was like, word, you know what, let's revisit it. It was only 4 songs. I think we can expound on that and, you know, make some hot shit. But I say that to say is that, and, you know, there's a couple other things that I wouldn't divulge because it's early, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to be fucking with some, you know, like, I've already been fucking with some, like, top tier producers, you know what I'm saying? And Statik and things like that. And I'm going to do more things like that in the future. But regardless, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm going to manage to be able to do both. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might hear I'm in the studio with so-and-so and be like, oh shit, but I'm still going to be putting out the work with Buck, because we know the demand for it is there. You know what I mean?
Does that work with Houseshoes? Does that equate to a Street Corner music release, or?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah,
dope, real dope,
right, beautiful.
Houseshoes is the homie.
She was gonna give up some beats too, Apple, or no?
Yeah, Shoes is getting involved.
Oh,
that's the point of it.
Yo, that's ill right there.
Yeah, Shoes is getting involved.
All right.
Getting involved.
This shit just got real.
Because I know, because
Shoes is soon,
because Shoes has kind of been laying back on the production shit.
Real
I mean, you'll see like little joints
bits
pop up
pieces,
here and there. He's been kind of more doing like the, you know, the label head kind of curating shit with Street Corner.
No
but that's
doubt.
dope to hear, man. I like to hear that.
Family
I mean,
shit
I
too,
hope so. I mean,
know?
I hope I inferred his message correctly now that you mention it. But I mean, the way I understood it was that, you know, he was going to send me some beats, you know what I'm saying? And I'm assuming that he would send me his beats, you know what I'm saying?
All right,
because
beautiful.
I don't know if he manages other producers or anything like that, but, you know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think that's what you can expect. I think you can expect some house shoes beats. You know, the original setup from Buck Dudley with maybe a couple alterations just to make it fresh again. And, you know, a full project on Street Corner Music for sure.
Dope.
Yeah, man, beautiful.
Dope.
I'm glad to hear that. That's dope.
Yeah.
All right.
Yo, speaking of, you know, affiliations with different labels and whatnot, what's your connection, affiliation, or whatever with Mass Appeal? A lot of your recent premieres have dropped via Mass Appeal.
Well, you know what? That's the homie Jordan who writes for them. I'm not sure, you know, what capacity, you know, he's like. I don't even know where he's at, to be honest with you. I just know that he's been supporting for a minute, man, and he reaches out and he does things the right way. Because I believe there's like a huge lack of, like, you know, integrity in a lot of journalism, hip hop journalism in particular. And Jordan just moves the right way. He's been showing support.
Okay.
And he, you know, he works over at Mass Appeal, does what he does.
Okay.
You know, at the end of the day, it's like anyone who comes, like I said before, it's like anyone who comes correct, you know, I'm coming correct right back at you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he comes correct. So he gets the exclusive more often than not. You know what I mean?
Cool. And speaking of support, what does it do to your mentality for a cat like DJ Enuff to tell you that he hadn't heard, you know, a storytelling joint like Cookout since Biggie's Warning?
Woo! Man.
Yo, man, I mean, you know what? It's funny you tell me that, and I remember because it's almost like I forgot about that. But in that moment, I could tell you in that moment when it happened, it's definitely crazy. It was definitely crazy. You know, and then you kind of, it goes from being crazy to being like, nah, yeah, you're right. then it's like, then it's feasible, you know, it goes from being crazy to feasible. And then it's almost kind of, for the most part, forgotten. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't be thinking about that every day. But when I look back, it's like, oh, shit.
Okay. That's what's up, man.
It's dope. In the moment, you're geeking out, man. I mean, at the end of the day, look, where I'm from, Hot 97 is like, that's the pinnacle of anything. That's the Mecca. You know, so getting just to, you know, exactly. I'm walking up to Hot 97. You know, I see DJ Camilo walking in. I'm like, oh, shit. You know, you go inside, you see so-and-so, so-and-so. And that's where you, like, dream of being when you think that you might want to do music. It's Hot 97. So, yeah, no question. Going up there and having him not only show love, but, you know, take the extra time and adding his extra 2 cents to it, you know, and mentioning the name like Biggie.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy. That's still crazy.
Yeah,
you know
that's huge, man. Yo, it's funny. So you know, the homie Coop, well, we lovingly refer to him as the fifth Beatle of Southern Vanguard.
No doubt.
But man, that guy badgered me for fucking, I shit you not, at least 2 months, wanting me to rip the DJ Enuff Crimeapple shit for him and send it to him. And I'm like, okay, well, like this is on the album. Like, you know, this record's out right now, right? Like the Cookout, because, you know, the Cookout was on. And he's like, no. He's like, no, it's different though. He's like that. He's like, I gotta have audio of that. He's like, it's not. He's like, it's this. I love the record, but I just love the flow on that appearance of Enuff. So I mean, that guy badgered me for weeks.
That's
like,
dope. That's
like
dope.
you gotta send
me.
The
crazy thing about that. The crazy thing about that rhyme and that, you know, whatever, that whole story, you know what I'm saying? The craziest thing about that, you know, because that's what elicited, you know, DJ Enuff making a comparison to Biggie, because, you know, the way I told the story.
Right.
And the ill shit to me and Buck Dudley, who produced the record, is that record is from that time period, again, that we was talking about, 2010, 2011. You know what I'm saying? So that's like testimony to the fact that I'm making timeless music, because we did that record and put it out, you know, in 2011 or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
So it's like, that's crazy. That's super crazy to me. You know, it just wasn't the time yet for people to hear it.
Wait. So the Cookout is a 5 or 6 year old record?
Cookout is obviously, you know, I went back to the studio. I might have changed a couple words around.
Sure.
And I recorded it for this. Right, but yeah, like there's a 6-year-old version of the Cookout that came out.
God damn.
Yeah,
okay.
It's crazy. It's definitely crazy.
You in the business of making timeless music, then. I like that. Sir. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's the proof. Shout out to homie who wanted to. I hope you got him the ripped version.
Hey, look, what I always say is that if it's on the internet,
We'll get that
We'll get that shit.
We'll get that shit. You might have to jump a couple of hurdles, a few hoops.
for better or worse, I'll get that shit.
Oh, yeah. I'm a living testament to that. I found some shit on the internet, boy. Saved my life. No doubt.
Real quick, not to wear this topic out, but you know what I loved about that clip, CA, is you came in there respectful and humble, but you also came in there popping that shit. Because when that joint starts and Enuff introduces you, you respectfully say, I've been watching the show, or I'm a big fan. I'm a longtime listener of Hot 97, but I'm about to do something different that's never been on here, that's never been done on this show before. And then you just go in, man. That's what I love about that whole clip, man. Like, that's the best part of that whole clip to me, is just you come in, pay your respects, but like, I'm coming in here to rip shit up real quick, and you did. So that was great showing.
Yeah,
bro.
That's I think you could tell just from the conversation with me you having now is, there's no, I don't carry like that typical rapper ego, and that's the fucking crazy thing, is that a lot of times rappers who don't even have a right to have a fucking ego have like huge egos, and it's like, yo, you're fucking whack. You're like, you're barely scratching the surface, bro. Like, I
like this dude.
So I definitely make it a point to be, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, I was raised the right way, you know what I'm saying? I do things so that I can sleep at night. If I went up there and I was on them, you know what I'm saying, talking crazy, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? That's not right.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I was humbled by the opportunity to even be up there, you know what I'm saying, to tell you the truth. If I told you I wasn't sitting in the next room, like, oh shit, I'll be lying to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's super crazy. Yeah, I don't believe in all that extra. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, someone hit me the other day talking about paying $40 for a verse, and I didn't block them. That tells you something about who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah, word.
Stay in that lane, man. You'll go far, man.
Yes, sir.
We gonna do whatever we can to push it out there, man. We support it. Your sound is what we fuck with, so we gonna be fucking with it.
Yeah, man.
No doubt.
Hell yeah.
So Apple, let's. We've taken enough of your time tonight. Meeks, you got anything else, man?
I'm good, man. I just, I didn't know what we were getting ourselves into tonight, man. Yeah, but it's on point, man.
Yeah, man.
It's on point. So we good,
right,
man. I appreciate you, Apple.
So Apple, if you can, why don't you just leave it, like this? Just tell everybody where they could go to support you, where they can go buy some product. I know you've been moving those shirts like crazy, I'm sure. You got a big 2018 coming up. Just let everybody know how and where they can go support you.
I say the same thing I always say. Just Google me. Everything will come up. You know what I mean? If you want to take some time, I appreciate it.
All right, beautiful.
There it is.
All right. CA, thank you, brother. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you, man. Have a good 2018.
You too, man.
You too, brother.
And 19.
And 19, yeah, exactly.
Right. And 20, 21, 22.
All of them, man. Line them up and go for it, man. We appreciate you, man. Keep doing your thing. We're going to be looking out for you. And make sure you check out the episode 147, man. We're gonna jump it off with the Crimeapple set at the top.
Yes, sir.
Mazel tov. Peace, fellas.
No doubt.
Right.
Peace.
Thank you, man. All right, Meeks.
Yeah, man.
Bloop.
Whoop.
New little Skype sound effect
goddamn
there.
Skype, boy.
Getting fancy.
Fresher than a motherfucker. Yeah, man. Good one,
great.
man.
Oh,
Hell
man.
yeah. Hell
Hey,
yeah.
you know what? Sometimes
I love this
can't
shit,
give
man.
up, man.
I fucking
Can't
love
give up.
this shit, man. It's it has not gotten old, and we 3 years in.
it hasn't.
It has not gotten old.
Not one bit, man.
Not one bit, man.
Not one
so,
single bit.
This shit right here, I love it, man.
Yo.
Shouts out to Crimeapple again.
Crimeapple, yeah.
And hey, man, top of the year to you. You know what I'm
You
saying?
got it.
We coming for your
You
motherfucking
got
throats.
it. Southern Vanguard. Yo, real quick. On some, I don't mean to end the episode on a somber note, and I meant to do this at the beginning. But first off, big rest in peace to Combat Jack.
Oh,
I mean, the news is, obviously old by now,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I'd be lying if I said that, he wasn't a major inspiration to us starting this thing.
Man. Yeah.
And that it's really a travesty. It's really unfortunate that we lost that man, but man, what an impact him and his team, made on the world. It's we on
the same page. We're on the same page because I actually want to dedicate the mix show to him tonight. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do it right, and it's definitely a travesty, like you said, but life unfolds as it should. And
right.
We made a couple of posts about it when it happened, and you just don't know how humbling and proud it made the both of us that to be mentioned with some of these top shelf podcasts, Rosenberg Radio, Combat Jack Show, Drink Champs, and then you'll see us at number 4 or 5, Southern Vangard, and it's just like, I don't know we don't know these people that are saying this, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we must be doing something.
Yes,
but something about that Combat Jack Show stuck out to me to be mentioned in the same breath with that show. Knowing that Combat Jack himself, Reggie Osei, was who he was, you know what I'm saying? And we was never fucking with that, on no level, you know what I'm saying? We over here doing what we doing.
That's right.
He was doing his thing, which was great things by leaps and bounds.
Yes, sir.
So again, to lose somebody like that, especially in this climate with the music we love and hold so dearly, is just a major blow to the game. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace to him and condolences to his family. And man, we
is there a way to support them, or they
I haven't seen anything.
GoFundMe, or there's not been.
I haven't seen anything like that, but that's something to look into. I would definitely like to do something. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Loudspeakers Network. They've had a real tough year, man. Between I guess Tax getting locked up and
what network?
Loudspeaker Network. So that was the network that that he and his team kind of like ran. So outside of the Combat Jack show, they had other podcasts where they kind of
see. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
Yeah,
a major blow.
Yeah.
You know?
So Tax. They put Tax Stone on. They had a slew of other podcasts that they did in addition to the Combat Jack show. The Combat Jack show was kind of the flagship.
Yeah.
But Tax got locked up, and then Combat obviously got cancer and has passed.
Mm-hmm.
And then Combat's one of his business partners, Jonathan Mina, he has cancer as well. They just had a really, really, really tough year. And I guess. On kind of a macro scale, I don't think people were expecting, what happened to Reggie happen. I think it kind of caught a lot of folks off guard. But,
because you got the notification of the announcement that
a couple months ago,
and then, for me, it just seemed like he kind of fell back a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the next thing
it's a wrap. Dang. So keep their family, keep Reggie's family, and that entire team. Keep those guys in your prayers and thoughts.
Yeah.
And hey, man, just stay tight with your loved ones and your close friends, man. Holler at somebody if you hadn't hollered at them in a while.
Yeah, man. And for you 40-year-old men out there, especially you black men, I don't want to leave no race out, but especially black men, you 40 and up, or you about to hit 40 or something. Go on, let them put that scope up your ass, man, and see what's going on up in you.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? I haven't had it done yet, and I just hit 46 last year, but my doctor sticks her fist up my ass at least twice a year. So I think having had that done, she would have pulled something out that didn't look right by now, and she hasn't. But I will be going to get a colonoscopy real soon. My man, Leo Getz, my man Leo, LG 1200, man, hit me up about that because he had somebody in his family that went and got checked out, and they found like 9 polyps. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And that's how it starts. You know what I mean? So, man, if you coming up on the big 4-0 or you already reached it or passed it or whatever, go ahead and get that checked out, man. It ain't going to hurt you.
Look, there's a lot of motherfuckers out there that don't like hearing this shit, you have got to go to the fucking doctor.
You got to, man.
You got to get a physical, and you got to get these fucking exams. I don't care who you are. You could be my best friend. You could be my worst enemy.
Yeah.
Go to the doctor once a year. Get your shit checked.
Yeah.
And you know when that birthday hits, and they got to stick that thing up your ass, you got to do it,
man.
That's all I got to say.
Take a piece of cake in there with you and enjoy that shit. Go to the doctor, man. Get checked out, man. It's real out here.
All right. Rest in peace, Combat Jack.
No doubt.
Southern Vangard Radio.
Man.
Twice a week Meeks, twice a week Doe.
Happy New Year to everybody,
New
man.
Year.
We love y'all, man. Get ready for episode 147.
We out. Peace.